champion and voice democracy in Pakistan. I especially welcome our other guests who are here from Germany and the entire FES team for putting up great effort and work. Let me congratulate FES on a century of global service and 3.5 decades of meaningful partnership in Pakistan. This celebration is not just of years, but of values that have endured: social justice, democracy, and solidarity. For 100 years, FES has stood at the heart of social democracy, affirming that progress must rest on dignity in work, fairness in opportunity, and voice in public life. In Pakistan, FES has been a steady partner in democratic development, supporting parliament, civil society, labor rights, and youth leadership. It has created spaces for dialogue and tolerance, helping keep civic bridges open even in moments of political polarization and, as I said, martial laws. These efforts align closely with our national reform and growth vision, Udaan Pakistan, built around 5 E's: exports, E-Pakistan, energy and infrastructure, environment and climate change, and equity and empowerment. Both FES and Udaan Pakistan share the same belief that policy must translate into performance and that democracy must be judged by the lives it improves. Democracy does not survive on slogans. It survives on representation that is real, accountability that is visible, and services that are felt. We cannot wait for perfect conditions. We must advance step by step, incrementally when we must, boldly when we can. Let me highlight 3 key areas. 1, representation at every tier. We need to revitalize local governments with predictable financing and clear mandates. And this still remains a challenge in Pakistan, and to me is the biggest challenge for democracy, that we do not have a very functional 3rd tier of democracy in Pakistan, and unless we truly have empowered local governments, democracy can never fully serve the electorate and cannot perform to its full potential. Strengthen Parliament's committee system and ensure women and youth leadership is genuine, not token. 2, hardwired accountability. Digitize public procurement and campaign finance disclosures, reinforce right to information laws and oversight institutions. Accountability must be structured, not situational. 3, visible and fair delivery. We must publish charters with response times and grievance redressal within 72 hours. When citizens can track their cases online or apply for services through their phones, democracy becomes service, not abstraction. And this is the direction in which, under Udaan Pakistan, we are trying to organize public service delivery system. That is what Udaan Pakistan aims to achieve. Through E-Pakistan, we are digitizing workflows, payments, and procurements. Through equity and empowerment, we are creating one-stop access for women, youth, and persons with disabilities. Through energy and infrastructure, we are investing in reliability that underpins service delivery. These are not just promises, they are already taking shape. The first ever digital population and housing census 23 was conducted through digital tools, ensuring accuracy, inclusivity, and public trust. It counted every citizen, including transgender persons, reinforcing fairness in representation. Parliament-led SDG oversight has been revived, linking national development with parliamentary accountability. Youth civic programs under Udaan Pakistan, including Young Policy Development Corps and Summer Scholars as well as young development fellows, are building a new generation of democratic thinkers and policy innovators. The Planning Commission's Monitoring and Evaluation Dashboard now enables real-time monitoring of projects, bringing transparency and citizen oversight to public spending. These steps strengthen the social contract between state and citizen through performance, participation, and proof. If a widow can apply for a stipend from her home through phone, if a young entrepreneur can register a business in a week, if a farmer can see fertilizer tender details before sowing, then democracy breathes easier. It is not one grand gesture that makes a democracy work. It is 1,000 verified improvements that make the state predictable, fair, and decent. That is how we rebuild trust in governance. We live in a time of rapid geopolitical shifts, multipolar competition, supply chain realignments, and climate disruption. For South Asia, the choice is very stark: to remain a battleground of rivalries or become a platform of collaboration. Cooperation must have content, not just declarations, but deliverables. That means resolving the disputes in the region so that we can move towards reducing trade barriers and aligning standards, cross-border power trade and shared flood and climate data, recognition of skills, researcher mobility, and interoperable digital payments. Pakistan's geoeconomic vision is clear: connect, de-risk, and grow. And with partners like Germany and the EU, we can align green industrial growth with resilient value chains. Another critical frontier is the future of work. Technology is changing jobs faster than our institutions can adapt. Our task is not to resist the future, but to shape it fairly and to prepare ourselves proactively. That means aligning education and training with Industry 4.0 and green transitions, expanding women's access to STEM, extending social protection to informal and platform workers, and ensuring productivity with dignity through support and decent work conditions. This is the justice dividend of social democracy, the promise that growth will be equitable, inclusive, and humane. Pakistan deeply values its friendship with Germany, founded on mutual respect, democracy, and cooperation. Germany's social market economy, combining efficiency with compassion, mirrors the spirit of our own reform journey and constitution. Our cooperation is expanding in climate resilience, vocational training, and digital governance. And for 35 years, FES has served as a civic and intellectual bridge between our two nations, connecting parliamentarians, academia, labor, and civil society. May this bridge continue to widen and strengthen. Let us translate today's dialogue into clear commitments. I propose 3 priorities. 1, a democracy delivery compact, measurable service standard across government departments and ministries linked to citizen feedback. 2, a regional cooperation agenda, a 12-month roadmap for trade facilitation, power exchange, data sharing, and climate resilience. 3, a people-centric labor deal extending social protection to 1 million informal and platform workers and launching a Women and Skills Accelerator linked to green industries. These are achievable, visible, and unifying, the kind of actions that make politics credible again. As we celebrate 100 years of FES and 35 years in Pakistan, let us honor this legacy not by nostalgia, but by nerve. the courage to renew democracy so it delivers, to reform governance so it serves, and to grow our economies so they include. Democracy must deliver, cooperation must reduce friction, and growth must lift the many, not few, and no one should be left behind. With partners like FES and with our national mission Udan Pakistan, we can turn this vision into reality, keeping faith with our citizens' aspirations for dignity and justice and opportunity. And in the end, I would also say that I think another very important area is that we all need to set up some kind of an ideas lab to see and study the present crisis of democracy. Democracy, as we know, evolved in 20th century in an industrial age. And the traditional model of democracy was based on the fact that people gave vote to their chosen representatives, and those chosen representatives ran the affairs for 4 or 5 year term and then went back to electorate at the expiry of their term. And for this period, people, once they voted, took back seat. Now, 2 important revolutions have taken place. One is an information revolution. 2 is the technology revolution that has connected people. And third, there is a demographic revolution where young population is today a dominant section of the electorate, particularly in developing world. What we are seeing that the new citizenry is not willing to cast itself in the traditional mold of democracy that evolved in the 20th century during Industrial Revolution era. In this digital age, when people are far more informed, people are far more connected and networked, they want a share in the decisions that are taken. They want to be active participants in the manner their societies are governed and run. And this disconnect is becoming evident through a general discontent that we are seeing in democracies everywhere. And it is giving rise to a particular mode of populist politics that is projecting hate, prejudice, and contempt against old model of democracy or the traditional players of democracy. So I think time has come that we also need to reinvent democracy according to the new changes that have taken place and likely to take place in future, so that democracy becomes more inclusive, it becomes more participatory, and it becomes more responsive to the new challenges. Only then we will be able to effectively counter this new populist brand of politics that we are seeing is rising in every democracy, whether Europe or America or Asia, whether in other democracies. So this, I think, is a new challenge, that how do we reinvent democracy in 21st century in wake of these new challenges that have taken place. So thank you very much, and my best wishes for a successful conference and a lasting Pakistan-Germany friendship, and to all FES staff here in Pakistan, in Germany, and all over the world for the great work they are doing and the great contribution they are making towards promoting the objectives of social democracy. Pakistan-Germany friendship, Zindabad.
हर वक्त बर वक्त